North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea.
The North Koreans.
North Korea.
The propaganda.
Kim Jong Un,
Millions to starve.
his regime, prison camps, human rights.
And Kim Jong Un threatened to destroy the United States.
Behind Kim Jong Un's icy gaze lies a secret North Korea never wanted the world to see. Not missiles or war games, but a woman hidden in silence and unimaginable luxury. Behind palace walls and layers of propaganda, this is the untold story of the invisible queen of North Korea and the billionaire mystery the regime has desperately tried to conceal. This woman is a real-life ghost. You'll barely catch her in the news, and when you do, it's always some heavily staged appearance, maybe a blurry shot at a parade, or some awkwardly formal photo where everyone looks like they're auditioning for a North Korean version of The Crown. But here's the wild part. While the world's busy speculating about Kim's next missile test, Kim's mystery wife is living it up like royalty, stashed away in a world of bonkers privilege and insane luxury, and we are as invested as you are. North Korean media got this whole smoke and mirrors act going, only letting tiny bits of her life slip through. But behind all that, she's basically living like a billionaire, from private concerts to probably a gold-plated rice bowl or two. It's almost surreal. So yeah, this is the story of Kim Jong Un's wife, the ultra-wealthy, practically invisible queen of a country where most folks barely get by. Pretty wild, right? Her whole story kicks off in a cloud of mystery. The first time anyone outside North Korea even saw the mysterious First Lady was 2012, and honestly, if you blinked, you might have missed it. State media barely bothered to mention her. There she was, standing next to Kim Jong Un at the grand opening of the Rungna People's Pleasure Ground, basically blending into the background like she was just another prop in the show. No big flashy intro, no parade, nothing. Suddenly, journalists, spies, random North Korea watchers, everyone was scrambling, chasing breadcrumbs and rumors, trying to figure out who she was. Thankfully, we found answers, so keep watching to find out who exactly has captured Kim's heart.
Kim Jong Un at the opening of a new amusement park, with a woman said to be his wife, Ri Sol-ju.
As the outside world tried to connect the dots, a rough portrait of her background began to form. What is known, or at least suspected, is that she was probably born around the year 1989. She came from a family that, by North Korean standards, would be considered highly privileged. Her father is believed to be a professor, and her mother reportedly works in the medical field as an administrator at a hospital. These professions, while ordinary in most countries, place her family among the elite in North Korea's rigid caste-like system. That alone would have set her apart, but her path to the inner circle didn't end there. According to reports from South Korean intelligence, she studied vocal music abroad, possibly in China, and even represented North Korea as part of a cheerleading squad that traveled to South Korea in 2005 for an inter-Korean sports event. That public exposure, brief as it was, hinted at the polished and poised figure she would later become. Looking at her early years, one can kinda tell her spot next to Kim Jong Un wasn't some random fluke. This whole thing feels very much stage-managed, doesn't it? As for her education, who even knows? While some folks say she snagged a fancy science degree, others think she just caught Kim's eye at some music gig and boom, suddenly she's the chosen one. Nobody can really pin down when they got married either. Most guesses land around 2009, but it's all hush-hush, which is a classic Kim family move, to be fair. They treat personal issues like that like it's top-secret nuclear codes. Even her official title was kept vague for ages, like they wanted to keep everyone gawking from outside North Korea.
연관 단위들에서 더하존 데도 있지만 원장의 일본세가 크게 작용했다. 상에 없습니다.
Yet even behind layers of secrecy, her life whispers of a world most will never see. Hidden deep within the folds of North Korea's tightly controlled regime, she lives in a reality so detached from her people, it almost feels imagined. While ordinary citizens ration electricity and scrape for food, her days unfold in velvet silence where silk sheets, imported delicacies, and rare wines are simply part of the backdrop. It is a life not just of luxury, but of deliberate concealment. And if there is one place where that secret world truly reveals itself, it is in the shadows of the home they never speak of. The Ryeongsong residence is no ordinary estate. It is a fortress masquerading as a mansion, the undisputed crown jewel of their hidden empire. Palace would be too modest a word. Think of a secret compound stretched across 12 square kilometers, cloaked in silence, surrounded by dense forest, and buried beneath layers of steel and concrete. A place built for protection, for isolation, and perhaps for hiding truths the world was never meant to uncover. But here is the real question. What else lies behind those gates? What stories remain untold beneath those golden ceilings and guarded halls? The deeper you look, the stranger it gets. And once you start pulling back the curtain, you might find that the real mystery is not just who she is. It is why so much has been hidden in the first place. Keep watching because these secrets are only just beginning to surface.
What you're looking at is a satellite image of one of the most heavily guarded compounds in human history, or otherwise known as Kim Jong Un's home.
Inside, it's not just about survival, it's about surviving in style. Picture banquet halls dripping in gold, a private movie theater, a spa that probably smells like imported lavender and expensive politics, and an Olympic pool for those morning laps before plotting world domination. Oh, and let's not forget the horse racing track that is exclusive to the Kims. Naturally, such grandeur requires absolute protection. So if you think getting into Ryeongsong is just a matter of sweet-talking a guard, you're dreaming. This place makes Fort Knox look like a neighborhood playground. If you want to get in, then you better have Kim Jong Un on speed dial, because that's literally the only way you're getting past the front gate. While the mysterious First Lady and her crew might as well be living on the moon compared to the rest of North Korea. And it's not even about staying safe, but about making sure everyone knows they're untouchable, even in their own backyard.
Is used at several other points around the property. Once you make it through this first checkpoint off the highway, you'll have to go through 3 other checkpoints before making it all the way up to what is the Ryeongsong residence, or otherwise known as Kim Jong Un's main home.
Now what happens when she grows tired of the silence behind palace walls? She simply disappears, and the scenery transforms around her. Far from the eyes of the outside world, tucked along the eastern coast of the country, lies a place few have ever seen, and even fewer can confirm exists. Known only in whispers as the Wonsan Summer Palace, it is a mirage of privilege hidden in a land of scarcity. Those who claim to have caught glimpses speak of infinity pools that catch the morning light like liquid diamonds, of grand halls encased in glass where no sound escapes, and of gardens too perfect to be real. They call it North Korea's answer to Saint-Tropez, though no map will guide you there. There is even an airstrip nestled nearby, invisible from commercial flight paths, where only select planes ever land, always private, always unannounced.
찾고 찾으시며 건설 방향과 방도를 밝혀주시고 건설의 전 과정을 걸음걸음 이끌어주신 인민의 낙원을 소리쳐 부르며 신비한 대장관이 날로 더욱 호화롭게 펼쳐지고 있습니다. 시한 건설 목표를 득팀없이 전경을 환한 미소 속에 부감하시며.
But wait, it gets even more James Bond. Out past the palace, you hit these little private islands bobbing in the sea. Total off-the-grid hideouts where the elite can let their guard down and basically do whatever the hell they want. For her, these spots aren't just vacation homes, they're fortresses. Out here, nobody's peeking in, nobody's judging, and the gnarly reality of North Korean life might as well be on another planet. Meanwhile, the average citizen has probably never even glimpsed the ocean, let alone hopped over to a private island. Yeah, talk about living in 2 different worlds.
actually make that respected First Lady, as that was the new title she was given in 2018, marking a step up in status. Now she's featured in a new propaganda photo book published on September 16th, according to media outlet Uriminjokiri on Sunday. The latest such publication to be released by Pyongyang Publishing House.
And wherever she goes, she travels in style. On the move, she doesn't travel like a head of state with a delegation of aides. She travels like royalty. The Kim family has access to a fleet of private jets, each customized to provide maximum comfort and privacy. Their armored limousines are bulletproof and equipped with state-of-the-art communication systems. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of their mobile luxury is their train system. Kim Jong Un's personal train is essentially a luxury hotel on wheels, outfitted with bedrooms, gourmet kitchens, and meeting rooms. The same train has been used by generations of the Kim dynasty, and it plays a dual role, a means of transport and a symbol of their ongoing legacy.
For his trip to Russia, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un once again took his specially designed green train. Used by 3 generations, the train is reportedly decked out with screens and luxurious cars and offers all kinds of food.
So who exactly is this mystery lady? Well, drum rolls. She's none other than Ri Sol-ju, and her reputation is nothing but extraordinary. On the world stage, her image matters even more. Lately, she's been popping up at big deal summits and meetings, always right there with Kim while he shakes hands with whoever's on the other side of the table. It's not just for show. Well, okay, it's mostly for show. She helps smooth out Kim's rough edges and makes the whole regime look a little less, I don't know, terrifying. It's a careful balancing act. She's the soft touch, the hint of tradition and style, while the actual government is, well, still doing its thing.
Ri Sol-ju riding white horses up Mount Baekdu that sits on the border with China. Kim Jong Un is seen in front of Lee Myung-soo waterfall and giving directions to authorities while smoking. It also shows the North Korean leader sitting in front of a bonfire and carefully touching the former battlefield for the Milryong Revolution in Mount Baekdu.
Behind that elegance, however, lies a subtle but potent influence. Her influence, though difficult to measure precisely, appears to be significant. She is believed to have a hand in cultural affairs and may play an advisory role behind the scenes, particularly when it comes to public perception and soft power. But even with all this influence, her own life remains heavily curated and controlled. Her appearances are limited. Her interviews are non-existent. And when she disappears from the public eye for long stretches, speculation grows. Is she ill? Is she being punished? Has she fallen out of favor? In North Korea, silence often speaks volumes. That silence becomes even more haunting when it touches on her role as a mother. Among the many secrets buried deep within the walls of North Korea's ruling dynasty, none are more tightly sealed than the existence of her children. Intelligence whispers from across the border hint at 3 births, 3 heirs born in the shadows, yet not a single image, name, or confirmation has ever escaped the regime's grip. One is rumored to be a son, a possible successor to the throne, quietly being shaped to one day inherit absolute power. But these children do not appear at national celebrations. Their names are never uttered in broadcasts. It is as if they live in a parallel world, hidden from history, tucked away in silence. Whether this vanishing act is to shield them from danger or to manipulate the narrative of power remains unknown. What is certain is this: the next generation of North Korea's ruling bloodline may already be walking among us, unseen and untouched by the outside world.
Ever since her marriage, she has lived a secured and secretive life, avoiding any public mishap. It was believed that Ri Sol-ju was demanded to hide her pregnancy, due to the high chances of gaining attention leading to unsure safety of ruler's heir.
And that, right there, is the twisted magic trick of her whole existence, isn't it? Is she a queen, or is she just another pawn in a gilded cage? Honestly, it's both and neither. She floats through palaces draped in couture, trailed by guards and crystal chandeliers. Typical Bond villain lair vibes, but with more lipstick and fewer lasers. Sure, she's got the 5-star treatment, caviar, retreats, the works. But every smile she flashes, every dress she wears, every little wave is all scripted, choreographed to the last eyelash by the big guys in charge. She's a poster girl for glam, but also a cog in North Korea's control machine. And while the world watches the flashbulbs popping and the propaganda choirs belting out love songs, there's something way uglier simmering underneath. While Ri Sol-ju enjoys yachts, private islands, and fortified mansions, the average North Korean citizen survives on rationed rice, lives without reliable electricity, and rarely has access to information beyond state propaganda. The disparity might not be accidental. It just might be the very architecture of the regime to reinforce the idea that the Kim family is untouchable. Behind the Iron Curtain and far from prying eyes, Kim's hidden wife lives in whispers, a living riddle slipping through our fingers, more legend than reality. Who knows? Maybe some secrets are meant to stay that way. So, what do you think? Is she just an image, or is there a hidden empire behind the scenes? Share your theories below and join the conversation below. For more stories that question mystery, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and see you in our next episode.